Hello, Ethan. This is a review of your second bagpipe lesson on the chanter. The date was February 3rd, 2023, when we went over this material. And we're going to go ahead and review everything we did in the lesson and give you a guide for practicing for the next week. So the main thing that you accomplished the last week was getting the high hand scale, going from high A, high G, F, E, just like that. And all last week, we didn't really worry about where your bottom hand was. This week, we went ahead and asked you to go ahead and put these three fingers on the bottom hand holes like this, and keeping the pinky finger up, which is exposing this hole down here, the low G hole. And so you practice that, and the one thing you want to be aware of is not bending the knuckle on these fingers down here, right? Or we're trying to play right on the fingertips, right? We don't want that. We want to keep the fingers not super straight like popsicle sticks. We don't need that, not like this. But we need them to be played on the second pads of each finger approximately, not the fingertips. And of course, that's because when we stand up and play the pipes, we need to have our fingers in this orientation. So everything that we do today in this lesson on the top hand, you're going to have your bottom hand in that position. And you'll notice that the thumb on the back here is about even with the pointer finger down there. So why don't you get that low hand ready, right? It's not going to do a lot right now while we're looking at the high hand. So take a moment, get those in place. No mountains, right? We don't want any of that. All right, so there you go. What we're going to do now is review the high hand notes that you worked on. You did a fantastic job on going from high A, G, F, E. And the game that we played in class was to actually do that to a metronome. So what I'm going to do is set the metronome at 75 beats per minute. And that is a couple beats per minute lower than the slowest speed that you did this during the lesson. So here you can hear it in the background. That's 75 beats per minute. And we have our low hand in the spot like we were talking about. And we're going to start on high A and go down. And it doesn't really matter when you start, but I'm going to say ready, 1, 2, and then the next beat you'll go. So ready, 1, 2. Ready, 1, 2. Ready, 1, 2. Okay, if that's pretty easy for you, I wouldn't be surprised because you were doing it a lot faster. We're going to go up to 79 beats per minute. That's what you're hearing now. On 3. Ready? 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2. All right, I bet that's going well for you. If it isn't, you can pause the video and go back and try it some more. Otherwise, we're going to go up to 84 beats per minute. Let's try that. And ready, 1, 2. Ready, 1, 2. Ready, 1, 2. Ready, 1, 2. Okay, we're going to go up again. We're going to go up to 90 beats per minute. Let's give this a try. Ready? 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2. All right. Let's go up to 97, which was the fastest that you did it at the lesson in person. This is 97 beats per minute. Ready? 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2. All right, very good. So if you don't want to play with the recording with me all the time, that is just fine. You're welcome to go ahead and do that on your own. That's just a great way to kind of give you an idea of what we're looking for. Well done. You can get your fingers all relaxed here for a moment, maybe stretch them out. And let's go to the next section of what you need to practice for the next week. What we want you to do is low hand scale, right? So what we're going to do is keep the high hand in place right where it should be, as if you had just finished the E, and then you put that E finger down. And on the bottom hand, we're going to keep these top 3 fingers off, and the pinky is on. And when we played that note right there with those 3 holes exposed, that is D, right? Play a D with me. Again, D. Okay, checking that all the top hand fingers are where they need to be. No mountains or bends in this knuckle here. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight. We can have them sort of relaxed and curved, but not all pointed up like that. And trying to play on the pads of the fingers right there, the second pads. All right, back to D. Let's do D again. D is... Okay, the next note down is C, right? We keep the pinky finger down and just bring this D finger down. So if I go back and forth from D to C, it sounds like this. All right, let's go down to the rest of the notes. And you noticed, I'm sure, that when we went from C to B, we did lift that pinky finger off, didn't we? This is B and then A. Let's do a bunch of those, nice and slow, on my count. 1, 2. Again, 1, 2. 1, 2. While you're doing this, check for any kind of bending in the fingers that we don't want and put them back. And also, if you do have trouble making these fingers making a clean landing, remember some of the stuff we talked about in class. Usually it's that middle finger that likes to kind of roll off the hole just a little bit, and we get kind of that unwanted sound, right? It's okay, just fix it, yeah? You know how to make it cover properly. Same thing up top. You might have one of the fingers on the top not quite fully cover, and you just know how to find it and fix it, yeah? And let's go ahead and play low A together now, where just everything's covered. I want you to test it on your own. See if you got it. Take your time there. Pause the video if you need to. And let's do a low A. And when we were in class, our low A's were in pitch. Let's do it again. Low A. Okay, now the fun begins. Now we get to practice some G grace notes. You remember this? We're playing low A, and we lift our top finger here on the left hand. That's our G finger. It's a G grace note. We just lift it up and down like that, like this. So you try those on your own. And what I'm going to do is set up the metronome to be, we'll start at 80 beats per minute on that. All right? So we're going to, here's 80 beats per minute, and on my count, we'll start the grace notes, right? Ready? 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2. All right, let's go up to 85 beats per minute. Keep your fingers where they were. Low A position, ready? And we'll do G grace notes. Ready? 1, 2. Let's try 90. Here's 90 beats per minute, G grace notes. 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2. Now you're welcome to increase that tempo as much as you'd like, or go back down. The last thing I want you to pay attention to is while you're doing your practicing this week is to make sure that you refer to the notes, not only the diagrams here with the closed fingers showing, but also the names of the notes and what it looks like on the musical staff, because we're going to start working a little bit more with actual sheet music here as we proceed. Have a great time.